Good morning guys, James here from Sunseeker Southampton, and we are day one of Dusseldorf Boat Show back here 2023. Lots of exciting new product launches to show you this week, and today we're going to start around the new 75 Sport Yacht. She's behind me here on the stand. Bit hard to see on the profile, so I'm just going to cut a shot in here of her running over to the show last week. Finished in a midnight grey gel coat hull band. Hard to see, but we'll try and come in on the camera here. Many thanks to Hugo, Motorboat and Yachting, who's helped me fix the flicker on the camera, so hopefully today you'll enjoy a look round with us up close and personal. So I've got a couple of tours on the channel of the 74 Predator and Sport Yacht, which is the predecessor to this one. Fundamentally inside the boat is the same, but we have some exterior revisions, and the main change being here on the stern. So on the 74 we had a much narrower walk deck here on the starboard side and the main entrance here on the port. We've elected to change it here now for uniformity, and you can see across the back here now, steps of equal size makes it very easy to get up onto the deck from either direction, still with the same tender arrangement with the garage for a 395 Williams. Cracked open here, so we're just going to lift up underneath there, and you can see the tender tucked up under there. Up above on the starboard side there is also a locker access from up top for a sea bob, and we've maintained the life raft locker as well up underneath the sunbed itself. Now the boat has actually grown slightly, a little bit longer tip to tip. New bathing platform design here to allow this step that runs across the back of the boat, and that actually then allows you, with the platform dropped, to still walk around the back. So quite nice little feature revision there. If we just come across here, the main stats on the boat, you can see running down there. So standard power, we are on 1550 MANs, with most of the boats upgraded to the 1900 V12 engines. She's getting on for a top speed around 40 knots, so pretty quick for something of this size. So let's get on board, take a look. Crew cabins in the back, we'll do that to finish at the end of the tour. Just coming up into the cockpit here, fairly big step up, 3 steps there into this huge social cockpit. Obviously the benefit on a Predator style yacht rather than a flybridge is this lovely social space with a huge sunbed integrated into the living space. So great as a day boat, come long weekend though. Still got 3 huge cabins. The boat is very much capable of going off and doing extended time out in the water. Of course you can canopy this if you need to. Off the back here comes down around 45 degrees, and that does then create living space in here. Of course on all our Predator style boats we have the drop down window and door mechanism here, so that then incorporates both inside and outside living spaces all together. So some changes here in the cockpit over the 74. We have this new style opening starboard side deck access, so there's a cushion that drops into this space. Try and do this one-handed. There's a catch on the back here, mechanism comes across, and that then allows, as you can see here, a complete cockpit space. So a little cushion there which is stored in a pocket down the back, and we just grab the handle, slide that back forward, and it does then give that immediate access out onto the starboard deck. Really useful. Table here, so carbon fibre finish as per the XPS 74s, which was the run out boats. Table flips over 180 degrees, slides across on the mechanism, and is also electric high and low. New wet bar here over on the port side, where we have refrigeration in this one, and then a nice little sink in the top, and then this is a storage cupboard underneath the steps themselves. Main wet bar obviously being upstairs, but it does give you just somewhere to grab a drink on the hotter days here in the aft cockpit. So battery switches hidden in here. We've got a sea trial video on the tour of a 74, so you've got a chance to see what one of these is like out at sea. It says the mechanical running systems are identical between the two boats. Platinum med package on this particular one, so you can see things like the stern docking winches there on the back. So let's head on side, take a look around. So this particular one is finished in the silver oak satin wood. As you can see, very light and modern, New York loft apartment style finishing here. The boat actually is available for day one here at the show, so if you want to get out on the water for 23 season, this actually is a really good opportunity. She is loaded up obviously as a boat show boat with pretty much every extra available on one of these. Price wise, starting just under the £3.2 million ex-tax with these engines, and then the upgrade with all of the extras on this one, we're coming in a smidge over 3.8 million ex-tax. So saloon seating, obviously here on the starboard side, nice big U-shaped opening top as in the cockpit, and the electric leg on the table there to get a nice comfy position whether it's dining or saloon seating. You'll notice these huge glass windows running all the way around the saloon, lets loads of natural light in, great visibility when the boat's underway. And then over here on the port side we have, of course, plenty of glass storage, bottle storage, and the high-low mechanism there for the TV. So we've got a 55-inch TV high-low bracket into the bulwark there, and of course a full Pepway router system, so we've got onboard 4G system and a big AV upgrade throughout. Coming forward, this is an observation area, obviously opposite the helm, nice place to sit when you're running at speed, and a helm and co-pilot seat, Besons-only Italian chairs here, leather Bentley style stitching there. From the helm itself, let's have a seat in the chair just to see what sort of view. You're on my eye line now, looking out through the screen. They are a proper boat to drive. So I would say much the same as the larger yachts. We have hydraulic fin stabilizers, we have hydraulic bow and stern thrusters, a lot of large yacht tech, as well as from an owner operator point of view, things like the option here for the Aventix Rexroth joystick system. As a proportional thruster systems does make the boat very much capable of handling with two reasonably competent people, or as a captain there is the option to run with two in that stern cabin. So we've got a premium nav kit upgrade here, two 16-inch Simrad NSS Evo 3 displays. This is Sunseeker's CM8 monitoring panel, as we see on many of the other models. I say the control for the stabilizer, engine, display, autopilot, jog dial for the screens above, remote control spot, and a bank of switches for all of the onboard systems. Everything is very much to hand here. Tilt steering wheel, and you'll notice the typical Sunseeker badge there staying centralised. And then all the throttles and controls for engine side of things over here on the starboard side. Now next to the helm, of course, we have the obligatory side door. It does make talking to your crew outside or even running shorthanded able to get out onto that side deck is a nice handy feature, and a little bit of ventilation in for those that don't want to run the aircon system. Now obviously with a lot of glass on a boat like this, we do have an upgrade, so we're full tropical spec aircon just to give as much cooling capacity as possible. And then up in the roof there, that's an optional electric sunroof just to crack open and give a little bit more ventilation as required. We've got an upgrade to Roman blinds here with blackout material on, and then there's a mesh windscreen panel to go around there in the evenings for some privacy. Wood floors throughout as an upgrade on this particular boat, so that's a Cadorian hardwood floor, again in a similar finish to all of the main cabinetry. So accommodation and galley is set up downstairs on a Predator such as this, so we obviously kept the saloon for entertaining up there, and then we have bottom of the stairs here greeted by a fully equipped galley. So this is a dishwasher, of course, ceramic hob, oven, lots of storage in the cupboards. I say I've covered off the 74 Predator in quite a lot of detail previous to this, which is almost identical, say, downstairs, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with you today. This has now become the standard layout, as we did originally offer the boat with an extended forward VIP cabin. This is a wardrobe area, but now, as nearly all the boats were built with this configuration of the lower dinette, we've elected to go with this as standard. We can turn this into a fourth cabin area for those that need the extra berth, perhaps for young children, but it works, I think, personally best as a 3 cabin. So let's start midships here. So this is guest cabin number 3 on the boat, and it has its own Jack and Jill access here to the bathroom compartment, with a door here also off the main corridor. You can see lots of inlaid detail, things like the carbon fibre here, the Predator-esque cutouts in the bulkhead panels. It's beautifully appointed, and we have, of course, loads and loads of different LED lighting throughout. Coming forward, so this is cabin number 2 on the boat, if you like, VIP guest cabin forward. Large centerline berth there, carpet upgrade, as well as lots of soft material upgrades. So we've got high level locker boxes either side of the bed, big wardrobe there, nice area on the vanity there. All dimmable lighting, of course. 43-inch TV up on the bulkhead there, all Samsung throughout on this one. Then we're coming aft, so we're walking down through the middle of the boat here. You see the wine cooler up on the bulkhead there. Refrigeration, so we have freezer drawers as well as the fridge, and loads of cupboards. These are really good to say extended time on the water. Only thing really to add for those perhaps out in the Croatian Adriatic would be a water maker, which would give just the ability to stay on board a little bit longer. We're carrying 800 litres of fresh water, 4,800 litres of diesel, so she's pretty well equipped, I say, to be away on the water for extended time. So here we are, master cabin, very, very quiet down here. Fuel tanks running thwartships behind the bulkhead here for sound insulation. Electric heated towel rails here in the bathroom, and big shower compartment here. Lovely synthetic stone finishes on this one. I say very, very light and bright and natural in here, despite the fact that we're indoors in a hall. This one configured with the 2 seats and the breakfast bar over there. And then in this cupboard, we have a lovely walk-in wardrobe rather than just basic storage. So some of the hatches worth mentioning under the floors here, again, some of the previous tours you'll see, we have a mixture of mechanical systems on the boat and also some long-term storage for things like bottles of water and bits that perhaps you don't need to get to every day. So let's head on back up, take a look at the sports bridge. So stairs here on the port side, taking us up. You'll notice I just show you on the decks here, this is a new Seeker synthetic decking that we're working with. It's on a couple of the new boats here at the show. So this is a synthetic, effectively plastic deck, routed out then with a proper Seeker caulking in. Does give a little bit of grip under feet and reputedly to be much cooler to walk on than some of the other synthetic products we worked with before. Interesting to see how that plays out over the course of this season as we put it into proper product testing in the field. So up here we have helm on the port side, and everything is as you saw downstairs. 2 12-inch displays up here and a mirror image of all of the kit that you saw at the lower helm. Let's just take a seat here, spin the camera around so you can see it's at my eye line, exactly what I'm seeing around in front of us. We have this pull-up acrylic screen for a little bit of wind protection. On the odd day you might need it, and you can see my view now. In respect of docking, I can see all the way from the bow to the back of the boat. I can also see down the stairs there to the bathing platform. So it is possible to bring the boat in docking here from the flybridge. We do of course have a third station control in the aft end of the cockpit as well if you need one. We'll go and take a look up at the bow in a minute. Just to finish up here, this is a seating area with a drop-down table. There's an infill cushion that goes in there as well, creates a lovely sun pad here next to the helm. Obviously, if you're running as an owner-operator with a family, you can get everybody together. And on the aft end of the flybridge here, this is your dining space. Again, private up here, away from the quayside. It does allow you the ability to get away from the bustle behind the boat. A couple of refrigerator drawers here. And then on the back, this is a hydraulic clamshell style bimini top to give you some sun protection. And then the new style radar arch on the back with everything painted in LSA jet black. So that's the nav kit, the tower, the detail all around the outside of the hardtop here, which are all options for those of you that really want to set the boat apart from the standard rail white. So let's head back down and we'll do the bows. Obviously with a ladder you can come down forwards or backwards. We mentioned the third station, so that's just the joystick system hidden underneath with the engine start stops here on the port side. Moving forward here on the bulwarks, you'll notice how deep the fiberglass here is. It feels very safe. You've got young kids, dogs on the boat, what have you. It does mean that walking up to the bow is no much of a chore at all. We've got LED dimmable lighting throughout the exterior, so again you can soften that down at night and just look at how big these glass windows are. Runs all the way from the deck. Just stand back here to above my head height. You can see this beautiful black painted roof behind us. So we have two split areas with the centre line sunbed there. These are lift up backrests here to give you somewhere to sit and read a book. And then we've got the seating area behind, again with a sort of clamshell style bimini top for sun protection. It's a 50 kilo anchor, 90 metres of chain hiding up front here. Galvanised anchor, we could upgrade that to stainless if you wish. Deck lockers here, obviously for storing fenders. There's a washdown system up here as well as all the controls for the deck gear. Remote control spotlight up there, just tied off with the bunting. You can see from the show launch, the boat is absolutely stunning. So it's really hard to take in the full vision of her. I'm going to cut a couple of pictures in at the end of the video just to show what she's like from a profile, but very, very pretty boat. Obviously available as a Predator style as well, for those of you that don't want the exterior helm on the boat. And then it does have a much larger opening glass sunroof over this central saloon area. The rest of the boat is absolutely identical. So we couldn't not finish off with the crew cabin here in the back. On the transom, so it's a new style door opening now, giving the access in from both sides. Down the steps into the back. So we have laundry facilities in here. You can see the washer dryer. It is quite tight in here. We'll get some comments, I'm sure, saying it's not fair on the crew, but the reality is on a boat of this size, this is pretty adequate, and the crew are quite happy to share the adventures on board with the owner, getting paid very well to do a professional job. So we've got two beds in here. It is possible to run something like this very much just with a captain, and we have some basic shower facilities there as well. If you're an owner operator, it's a nice place to jump in to after coming out of the water. Perhaps turn that into more of a storeroom. We can actually take the mattresses out. So I say this particular one is available. I do have also some very, very limited availability into the early summer with a standard white finished hull, if you'd like something a little bit more contemporary looking. So if you'd like to know more about this one, or of course anything else on the stand, or product availability for the 23 season, do get in touch directly. It's james@sunseekersouthampton.com, or the mobiles +44 7747 686 587. Hope you enjoyed the look round with us, and we look forward to seeing you through the rest of the week here at the show.